Content. A marks game refers to a system where students focus more on scoring high grades than actually understanding or learning the subject. Point 1. Learning beyond marks, which is observing to grow. Point 2. Real life statistics that show the increase in student deaths due to marks pressure. Point 3. Case studies that show how countries with less marks oriented examinations thrive. Point 4. Real life examples.
On the topic, already marks became the aim of many children in today's education system. Rather than conceptual understanding, mugging answers have become a more acceptable practice by most students just to get through scoring well in exams. In other words, they memorize textbook content word by word without knowing what it means. Why is this so? Because grades are viewed as yardsticks of brains and achievement. Students have pressure from school, parents, society to excel sometimes at expense of actual learning. Thus, creativity, critical thinking, and curiosity can take a backseat. Students remember a little of what they have learned within a few days of test. That is the proof that they didn't really understand the material. They merely understand the marks. It is like training for a race, racing it, then forgetting how you did it. It is basically you forget everything and you just score for marks. Thank you.
Solution 1. How the pressure of scoring high affects the mental and emotional health of students. One way of learning how to create interesting story openings is to observe the methods used by other writers. If you have an opportunity, book a library session and conduct a scavenger hunt for some engaging opening lines or passages. You might work individually or with a partner. Aim to find 5 successful expositions that you found particularly effective. For each passage you find, record the following details in your notebook.
Student suicides in India have been rising alarmingly with 13,089 deaths in 2021, around 36 every day. A large number are linked directly to exam failures and academic pressure. In coaching hubs like Kota, 2023 saw 26 suicides, the highest ever. Even top institutes like IITs and NITs have seen multiple such cases, mostly due to the overwhelming pressure and the mental health struggle. Surveys show that 12% of students have had suicidal thoughts and many have attempted it. The fear of failure, family expectations, and lack of support are major triggers.
Solution. Case studies that show how countries with less marks oriented examinations thrive. The first one is Finland. Learning without stress. No standardized testing until high school. Students have short school days, longer breaks, and less homework. Focus is on skill, creativity, and happiness, not marks. Result. Finland consistently ranks high in education, PISA rankings, and student well-being. The second one is Netherlands. Balanced and student-centered. Dutch schools emphasize project-based and discussion-led learning. Students are assessed through regular feedbacks, not marks alone. Mental health is prioritized and pressure is low. Result: high life satisfaction and strong academic outcomes. Thank you.
In India, many students focus heavily on scoring high marks to get into prestigious colleges or to secure jobs, often at the cost of true learning. For an instance, a survey was conducted by the National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration in 2019, which found out that 60% of students admitted to memorizing answers without understanding them just to pass these examinations. Coaching centers like those in Kota, Rajasthan, thrive on these marks driven culture, where thousands and thousands of students prepare intensely for examinations like IIT, JEE, and NEET by memorizing large volumes of question and answers. Sadly, many students confess that they don't fully grasp concepts but just memorize to clear these tests. This route learning leads to burnout, anxiety, and even spike in student suicide linked to exam pressure. Experts argue that this marks game damages creativity and critical thinking. The push for high marks forces students in mugging up rather than truly understanding the concepts and the subjects, resulting in short-term memory gains but a poor long-term knowledge retention.
Solution. To stop focusing only on marks, education should prioritize understanding over memorization. Schools need to use varied assessments like projects and continuous evaluations instead of just exams. This lowers pressure and encourages real learning. A balanced education that values arts, sports, and life skills doing with academics helps develop well-rounded students. Society must stop equating marks with worth and appreciate all talents. Parents and teachers should support students emotionally and value effort over scores. Providing mental health support and teaching stress management can help students handle pressure. Encouraging curiosity and creativity will make learning meaningful and enjoyable. By making these changes, education can become a true path to grow, not just a race for marks. In conclusion, the obsession with marks has turned education into a stressful competition where students focus more on scoring than truly understanding the concepts. This approach limits creativity, critical thinking, and genuine knowledge, often leading to anxiety and burnouts. To create a better future, we need to redefine success beyond numbers on paper and encourage a learning environment that values curiosity, effort, and holistic development. By doing so, students will not only exceed academically, but also grow into confident, capable, and well-rounded individuals, prepared for real-life challenges. Ultimately, education should inspire a lifelong love of learning, not just the pursuit of marks.